What is the best tool for cutting cardboard? Which of the big three should you use to get the best possible cuts in your cardboard? Hi, my name is Eli Tennant and this is Maker Brain, and that is the question we are going to answer in this video. So buckle your seatbelts as we dive right in. First up, we have our scissors, and I'm talking some pretty durable, heavy-duty scissors, but not like massive shears like some people use with their cardboard. These give you a very high degree of control as you cut your cardboard, which is really nice. And they're amazing for going around corners, and maybe if I want to round something off, snipping little extra bits off like that. They don't work very well if I want to cut straight through something. So they can also cut a pretty straight freehand line because they are so long you can kind of see where you're going with that line, and they don't need a cutting mat to achieve the best results. And they're also pretty safe because they can't really, once you're cutting, you can't really like slip off and suddenly cut yourself. So that safety of just having scissors is a comfort sometimes as well. Some of the cons are that it often crushes the edge of the cardboard, and I can even see it here on these cuts that I'm doing, is when you cut along there, the edge of the cardboard will often get a little crushed down, especially if you're using thicker cardboard. Scissors will really struggle with thicker cardboard and longer cuts. The longer you have to cut, it's going to deform one of the pieces of cardboard, and also if you're trying to cut with a lot of material on either side, it doesn't do as well with that either. Another disadvantage of scissors is that you're not able to replace the blades or sharpen them really in any way, and they also can't make holes in the cardboard. You can't do like internal cuts inside your piece of cardboard because they're just scissors and you can't really cut out inside something very well. So they must not be the best tool for cutting cardboard. But as always, there are links and resources in the description down below, plus a special tool guide that I've got for you there. I'll talk more about that at the end of the video. Our next contestant is the mini hobby knife, and these are pretty awesome. I've got one right here, and they can make really fine detailed cuts. They can cut curves really well and internal features because they have a nice small blade, and the blade is also replaceable, and you can attach different kinds of things to the end of it. So here I've got what is like called a number 11 blade, I believe, and it's very pointy and kind of normal looking. You can also attach like chisel type things to it for different applications. But I want to pass the question off to you. Do you ever use specially shaped blades with your knives? I personally almost always just use this original blade it came with. It's just the right shape for me. Now on the cons side of a mini hobby knife like this, we have the fact that it is not amazing with thick cardboard. So if this was some really hefty cardboard, it can struggle to get through that sometimes. You got to go over with a lot of passes. You sort of run out of blade length sometimes, and it just doesn't work as well as really long cuts can get to be a pain because a tool like this is using your fine muscles to move it. You've got all your fingers, so you can get that real detail in there, but sometimes when you're trying to get a lot more force and a heftier cut, a bigger cut, it can be difficult with a small knife like this. And it also works best with a cutting mat if you're gonna do some like straight down cutting. And this mini hobby knife definitely is better for crafting with cardboard than your scissors. It can do more things, and it is just a better tool, more versatile than your scissors. But is there something that could give us some heavy duty work? This is kind of a light duty tool for lightweight materials. Is there something that could really get that heavy duty in there that the scissors and hobby knife couldn't get? But I want to let you know that you could get fresh videos just like this, full of DIY tips and tool breakdowns just like this one, by simply subscribing with the big red button down below and hitting that bell notification icon. That way you'll get a notification every week of the new video I've released to help you. Our last contestant coming right up is a full-sized utility knife. This is able to cut thick cardboard. It's got a nice sized blade in there, and it can also do some heavy-duty materials. So if you wanted to do a little bit of plastic or wood, shaping those, this would be able to do that as well. Because when you're crafting, even if you plan on crafting with just cardboard, having the ability to craft plastics and cut other things is very helpful, because those can be implemented into your cardboard crafts and make your life a lot easier. But anyway, it also has replaceable blades. It only has this like quadrilateral shaped blade where you can like use one side and then you flip it around, so you kind of get 2 blades per blade, and it is replaceable, so you can keep it nice and sharp, but there's only one kind. It'll also give you a very clean edge when you're cutting, but you want to be using a cutting mat with it as well. A very clean edge, and give you the ability to do internal cuts and curves, and it's going to work much better than a regular knife, whether that's like a pocket knife or a kitchen knife. It's going to work better than those and be a bit safer because of this pointy shape where you can drive in and get better curves in there, and it's not going to slide off as much. The thing is, it can't get those curves as well as the mini hobby knife, but it is better than the scissors at those curves, and it's not going to crimp it as much. However, with both of these knives, you can't cut corners off of things super easily. The corners of cardboard are often where these struggle, and it'll just kind of want to crush it, where scissors, on the other hand, can trim it much more easily with a quick snip. On the cons for a large knife like this are, first of all, that it requires a cutting mat to get best results. You don't need a cutting mat, and you can't get super fine details because it's a little bit too big for that, so you'll lose some of that fine detail that you could have gotten with the hobby knife, and it's less safe than the hobby knife because you got to apply a bit more force with a bigger knife while you're cutting thicker materials, and that just means that you have more force that can go the wrong way and end up slicing into you, and the blade is also a bit bigger, so you can inflict more damage on yourself. In the end, I'll admit there's no perfect answer, but I'll tell you this: if you're gonna do big creations, maybe something that's life-sized or like a kid could fit inside, you're gonna want to go with a big utility knife like this. It's gonna make life easier as you get those big cuts a lot faster. On the other hand, if you want to go smaller and more detailed creations, maybe something like a piece of art, you're gonna want to go with this more fine hobby knife where you can get that control, and this can also do some big cuts. But if you're gonna do a lot of big cuts, it's going to become a pain to go over like a million times with this little knife. And scissors, I would not say you're going to be your main tool, but they are a good complement to a knife, because where the knife falls short, the scissors are often the tool that excels. So you're going to use your knife most of the time, either one of these that you choose depending upon the size of project you're doing and the size of cut, but then your scissors are going to kind of complement that and be your secondary tool. Cardboard crafting requires more than just a tool to cut the cardboard, and figuring out all the tools you need can be difficult. But if you want to know the most essential tools so that you can start crafting with cardboard and avoid wasting money on things that you don't need, then you need to get the free tool starter guide. This is a list where I took my many years of cardboard crafting experience and condensed it into 13 tools that you need to create high quality cardboard models. All the tools in this guide are listed with my recommended products, as well as quick helpful descriptions as to how each tool is supposed to be used. Just click the link in the description, enter some quick info, and then enjoy the free cardboard crafting tool starter guide that will be sent straight to your email inbox. If you're not interested in that, I'm totally okay with that, and you can just click on this video that showed up right here, where you'll learn how to cut cardboard perfectly with a knife, or this other one where you learn how to cut cardboard perfectly with scissors. Whichever one you want to learn about, go ahead and click on that one. As always, I'm Eli Tennant, this is Maker Brain, and God bless you. I hope to see you in another video.